Let's say China.
China.
China. China.
There are next door neighbors, and you can actually see Russia from land here in Alaska.
Go over to China.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Trump statement, tweeting out insults to Angela Merkel. What's he doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host.
Yes. Hello and welcome. I am James Andrews, and you are listening to So This Happened, according to my friend Mike, the only news you will need today. And in Algeria, a man was sentenced to prison for dangling his baby out of the 15th floor window of his apartment. He allegedly did this for likes on Facebook, and on the caption of the photo that he put on Facebook of him dangling his young child out the window 15 stories up, he wrote, 1,000 likes or I will drop him. Now, we don't know whether he ever made it to that 1,000 like goal, but we do know that he earned himself a 2-year stint in prison and the Father of the Year award. Also, incidentally, apparently he's a really big Michael Jackson fan. Yes, sorry, I love Michael Jackson as much as the next man. But he did dangle his kid out of a window, didn't he? He did. You do that shit, you're asking for it. And we haven't talked about this for the last few days because, well, we didn't have time to talk about it and I wasn't quite sure how to word it. But Otto Warmbier, the man or the student who was captured by the North Koreans over a year ago, who was returned to the US in a coma, died yesterday. And I don't really have anything to say about it other than we send a lot of So This Happened good vibes and love to the Warmbier family. It's a awful thing, and that's it. That's all I want to say on it. Just lots of love and positive vibes going to the Warmbier family and friends and anybody else who was affected directly by this. So, rest in peace, Otto, and I hope that wherever you are, it's a happy place and you are at peace, my friend. And then moving swiftly on to the election that is taking place in Georgia right now. This thing is massive. It's a runoff election, which normally wouldn't be such a big deal, but this one has captured the hearts and minds of, I think it's fair to say, everybody in the US. Democrat Jon Ossoff and Republican Karen Handel are in this race together. Now, combined, these candidates have spent $56 million. This is the most expensive congressional election in US history. The polls are open right now. And if you are eligible to vote and haven't voted yet, get out there and vote. Very important. Now, Donald Trump tweeted earlier today. There's a surprise, right? Donald Trump tweeted. Really, James? My God, that's unusual. What did he say, James? Well, let me tell you. You like how I talk to myself sometimes? I tell you what. Let me not talk to myself. Trump Vader is outside having one of his gin and tonics, and well, I'm going to bring him in a little bit earlier than I thought, so hang on 2 seconds. Trump Vader, come on in. Yes. What, you're not... Don't worry about it. No, you can bring it in. That's fine. Bring the drink in. Bring it in. Hey, how are you? Okay, Trump Vader is here. And this morning he was up really early. Are you tired? He's not tired. No. Oh, he said... What? What's that? He's a stud of a man, he wanted me to tell you. Anyway, so you tweeted early this morning about this election in Georgia, so obviously this is something that you have given quite a lot of thought to, isn't it? Yes, he's nodding away. So do you want to read the tweet? He does. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, Trump Vader.
Why was I not invited to participate in the 50th anniversary episode yesterday, James?
Oh, well, I'm sorry, Trump Vader. I didn't... There just wasn't time, and I called your people, and I spoke to Sean Spicer, and he told me that you were not interested in coming. He said Trump Vader isn't interested. Sean Spicer told me that.
What a fucking dick.
Well, your words, not mine, Trump Vader. Anyway, do you want to read the tweet now? Yes, okay. Now he does want to read the tweet. So here is Trump Vader with his tweet about the Georgia elections today.
Democrat John Ossoff, who wants to raise your taxes to the highest level and is weak on crime and security, doesn't even live in district.
Okay, interesting tweet. Now, Trump Vader, let me ask you a question. Do you have any proof of any of this whole thing on him being, weak on crime and security? No, he's shaking. He's not. No, you don't. Okay, he's shaking. He doesn't. You just said that, didn't you? You just wrote that this morning when you were half awake. Yes, he did. It was like 5 a.m, by the way. That's about what time it was, wasn't it? Yes. So, all right. Well, listen, he's about to leave. So before he does, let's give him a quick round of applause because you know how much he needs it. He loves it. So, ladies and gentlemen, Trump Vader. That sounded like fucking Yoda. Trump Vader. All right, yeah, that's a good one. He's very happy. He's very happy with this one. Wow, they love you. See you later, mate. All right, he's gone. So, back to the Georgia elections. Now, right now, this thing is too close to call. The polls a week ago had John Ossoff with a slight lead. But in the last few days, it's sort of narrowed up a little bit. And now they're almost neck and neck. And remember, this is a Republican district. This has always been a Republican district. So for a Democrat to win this, it's a very big deal. And it's going to really be a kick in the nuts to the Republicans if they lose this seat. And my fingers and my toes are crossed that Ossoff can pull this one off. Because it's not going to be easy. And, who knows what kind of congressman he'll be, right? We don't know. He's untested. But it doesn't matter because it's a symbolic victory for the Democrats. And God knows, the Democrats need a victory right now. So this time tomorrow, Trump Vader will either be reading a awful gloating tweet about how the Republicans are awesome, or he may have drunk himself into a coma. So we'll see which one it is. Now, if you remember, a few months ago, Donald Trump was very excited by the fact that Ford Motor Companies had cancelled its plans to build a factory in Mexico. He was all over the news and all over Twitter saying, "I convinced them to stay in the US. I am awesome. Yes." Well, today, Ford announced that, yes, they will hold up their end of the bargain and not build a factory in Mexico. However, they are going to build a plant in China. You like how I said China? That's how you say it now. China. I think that's it. It's like vagina. China. He's obsessed with it, isn't he? He's obsessed with vaginas. Vagina. China. Anyway, we digress. As of 2019, all Ford Focuses for the US market will be manufactured in China. China. Vagina. And the White House has been conspicuously quiet on this. We have not seen a tweet from Trump. That is quite hard to say. A tweet from Trump. We have not seen a tweet from Trump. I can't say that with a straight face. Now, he did mention China, actually in a tweet just a few moments ago. And it's a little bit cryptic, and I'm not quite sure what to make of it. But here it is. This is what Donald Trump, President of the United States, wrote on Twitter just a few moments ago. "While I greatly appreciate the efforts of President Xi and China to help with North Korea, it has not worked out. At least I know China tried." That's it. I don't. If there is someone that speaks Trump, they could maybe translate for that for me because I'm not entirely sure where that's coming from. But that's all he said about China. No mention of Ford moving there. It may come. It's very possible it'll come. He's probably just sitting there going, "Fuckers. Fucking fuckers. Fuckers." Because he swears a lot, when he's on his own in the Oval Office. He's just, fucking Chinese. Chinese. Are they Chinese? The fucking Chinese. Chinese. And this all comes amongst talks of increasing taxes on businesses that want to import into the US and giving incentives to companies that want to stay in the US. And I've had some thoughts on this, and I would like to share them. So, if you don't want to be bored for the next few minutes, fast forward this part, because I'm going to get into economics, and I know nothing about economics. So it's very possibly going to be complete fake news, but it's just the way I see it. So, in order to incentivize companies to stay in the US, what the Trump administration is saying they're going to do is lower taxes. So if you build stuff here in America, you will be taxed less, so you can stay here rather than going abroad where it's much cheaper. Because if you go abroad, you're going to have to pay more taxes to get your shit into the country. Okay, so that's fine, right? We understand that, right? Less taxes if you build in America, more taxes if you don't build into America. But here is where I see the problem. How are those tax savings to multi-million-dollar corporations going to impact the little man and the little woman on the street, the average American? How is that going to help them? And I don't think it is. Yes, these massive corporations are getting a tax break, so yeah, okay, we'll stay in America because we pay less taxes, we can pay ourselves more, that's great. The product they make is still going to be much more expensive than anything made outside of the US, even with the additional tax that they have to pay to import it. And this is very simple, and I don't know why people who are in the Trump administration who have been to, presumably finance school can't understand this. To pay somebody a wage in the US costs a lot of money. To pay somebody a wage in China, or Bangladesh, or the Philippines, or even Mexico, costs considerably less. Therefore, the product that you make can be sold for less money. As soon as you start manufacturing in the US and you have to pay the wages that people demand here, then your product automatically is more expensive because you have to keep that profit margin the same, no matter whether you're building in China, or if you're building in Michigan, or somewhere like that. I blanked on states completely. Michigan, or Michigan, or if you're building in Michigan. So for the average American who goes to Walmart, the best store in the world, right? What a piece of shit that place is. But let's say you go to Walmart for your underpants, right? And you're buying a pair of underpants by Hanes that are made in China or the Philippines or somewhere, and you're paying what, $8 for 3? Yeah, that sounds about, I don't know, I don't buy underwear at Walmart. Oh, look at you, you're a snob. Well, I don't. Now let's say you have that exact same pair of underpants made right here in the US. They automatically are going to be much more expensive. $14 for 1 pair of underpants, as opposed to $8 for 3 pairs of underpants. Now don't quote me on this because I'm making these figures up, but you get what I'm saying. You build something here in the US, it is just going to cost more money than if you build something in China. That's just common sense. So how does this affect people? Well, it's going to hurt people, because now those underpants that you could buy at Walmart for $8 for 3 pairs of underpants, because now there's an additional tax on them to bring them into the country because they're not made here, they're now going to cost $12 for 3 underpants. Who does that help? That helps nobody. That helps the corporation, and it maybe helps Walmart, but it certainly doesn't help the poor bastard buying the underpants from Walmart. Because let's be honest, he does not give a fuck where his underpants are made. So long as he can put a clean pair on every couple of days, he's a happy man. So there we go. Economics 101 with James Andrews. I thank you. Anyway, it looks like we are out of time. So I'm going to say cheerio, and please follow me on Twitter at SoThisHappen. There's always fun things happening there. And if you like the podcast, please subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, wherever you're listening to this, and tell a friend. Tell someone you like. So look, this bloke is funny as fuck. You'll really like him. I love him. Go listen to him. So if everybody that's listening goes to someone and say, you don't have to say it like that, because that was offensive to many people. But just go, and just, you can tell them anything you want to get them to listen. I don't care. Tell them it's a nature show. I don't care, but just That would be really cool, and I would appreciate it. Now, but on a serious note, I really do appreciate everybody that listens to this show. You really do make my day. Anyway, thank you, and good night.
Trump statement, tweeting out insults to Angela Merkel.